Thanks for listening to the Colony Confidential podcast. Today we're going to get you caught up. Take a listen to one of our most downloaded episodes and let us know what you think. Send us a DM or email at colonyconfidential@gmail.com. Let us know what you're thinking. So Pest World East was in India last year. This year it's in Abu Dhabi, I believe. You gonna come?
No. You
go to Russia, but you're not gonna go to Abu Dhabi?
Yes, I would. I would go there because as a kid, I would
You
go to Russia.
We know you went to Russia. We don't need to hear why. Okay. That was on the last
Why
podcast.
wouldn't I go to Abu Dhabi?
Why wouldn't you go to Abu Dhabi?
I don't like them.
You leave?
I don't like their culture. I don't like your culture. You probably don't like me, and I don't give a shit. I don't like your culture.
Okay. But you go over there, you meet a nice rich woman that's old, on her way out, and then we got some bread.
I can go to the Bronx and do that.
Over there, it's almost a guarantee, though.
Yeah, I know, but...
We'll get you all pampered up. We'll get you a nice haircut. We'll get you some liposuction, some other stuff, and we'll send you... We'll it's in April. You got plenty of time to get prim and proper.
Yeah, but what's the price I got to pay?
It depends on how...
They own
It
you.
depends on if she's from that town in Russia called Uglish.
Uglich.
Yeah.
Uglich.
Yeah, also known as Uglish.
Nice people there.
Yeah, when you're ugly, you have to be nice.
Okay.
True or false?
Some ugly people are pretty freaking nasty. and the more they get nasty, the uglier they get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, one of our better employees left.
Yeah, I know.
He got a state job. Can't really be mad at him. But part of what we're going to be talking about today is touching on how to keep the good ones, how to keep, retention once again by way of what? Finance.
Well, he left for a city job. State job. Okay, state job. Kind of dangerous, but he's got a hell of a pension, and he's only got to work 20 years.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is he could have made more money here if he stayed. At Colony, once you hit, I think it's 12 years, you have 4 weeks of vacation. It's a lot of vacation time.
That's too much for you. You're only going to get in trouble.
I don't know if I would
Anything
say that,
over a week is definitely too much, except for the owner. You could take a month if you're an owner.
Anyway, this happens to us. This time it happened at a good time where we lost 3 different guys at the same time.
Why is that a good time? What?
Because it's the end of the summer, not the beginning of the summer.
Oh, right.
So
right,
the end of the summer, at least all the emergency summer pest calls are kind of done. We'll still get some wasp calls and some other ancillary calls, but it's not like what it is from May, June, July, and August.
And we've done all our proactive stuff for the winter. We got all our bait stations all up to date.
Yeah. So we say all this to talk about how to really entice people to come work for you. Really entice them. What are you offering them? What are your benefits? Healthcare, this, that, and I mean, healthcare is a hot topic and whatnot. We're not even going to discuss that today. Money, finances, how to grow your own money, 401k. We spoke about
how you
pension.
can do better as you earn your way along in different levels in the company. And you're just not going to get it. Some people think that, I've been here 3 months and all I gave you is $2.
One of the biggest things at Colony that I really don't feel employees take advantage of is the 401k plan. It's kind of amazing how all of these finance people try and tell you to set up your financial structure. And I think that you should talk to a finance person that you're comfortable with and go with something you're comfortable with. For me, when I was building my business, I wanted to do everything in the beginning to not have to change as I grew. So when I was told, you could do a SEP IRA, you could do this, you could do that, my first thought was, what about when I have 10 employees? Oh, well, at that point, you got to do this, you got to do that. I said, okay, but I want to do that.
You was the owner. You could still have a SEP IRA.
I started in 2003. I set up 401k after I had my first employee for a really long time in 2005. And I set it up for 2 reasons. One, for myself, of course, to pay into and to have the company pay a portion of. And 2, for employees to say, this guy's giving me free money, which it's not free money. They worked for it. It's a benefit of the job. You match a certain percentage. Everyone.
Let me see if I got this right. They put in $10 and you match it.
There's different levels of matching, and this is all with your financial. You're only allowed to match a certain percentage of someone's salary through the federal guidelines. But most people do something along the lines of a 3 to 5% salary match. So what that means is if you make $10,000, and you put your 3% away, which is Sheehan, quick math,
$300.
then the company matches $300, and that's the 300 free money is what I'm talking about.
So no, you're describing that wrong to them. To me, the way I would describe that they're going to get some extra money. It's not free money. Free money. You're going to double your money. Double
Vague with
as an
it.
exterminator. Thinking back when, or even now, when I started as a technician, if I was going to put money into a fund, and you were going to double it.
Well, that's the thing. It depends on how young and dumb you are, right?
Yeah.
But we try to explain to everybody in the hiring process, listen, if you put $10 away,
you can double it.
and I put $10 away for you, it's 20. And on top of that, it's in the stock market somewhere. Whatever you decide to do is with the financial advisor. The way we have it set up,
They're individual accounts. Each guy has an individual account.
each guy has an individual account. And in the sense,
So with 20 guys,
hold on, listen, Hammerhead, pay attention. Everybody has their own account, meaning they get to pick their own funds, and it doesn't affect my funds or someone else's funds.
Yeah.
But the company 401k overall is a whole. If that, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like leverage. So I have a 401k package worth $2.7 million, let's say, right? So I can go and I could get better stuff for my employees because of the size of my 401k package, right? I could go and I could shop my 401k and say, what are you going to do for me and my employees? How are you going to do us better?
a lot of money. That's for the whole
It's not $2.7 million. I'm saying that because I wanted to see your face. But what I'm saying is it's constantly growing.
Yeah.
And the more people that get into it, it grows more, and the company puts money into it. But I tell everybody, like for the young guys, I say, listen, this is something you put 1% or put the percentage that we match away of your paycheck, because we're going to double it and you're not even going to think of it. So there's two different types of ways you can invest. That in our 401k plan, we have traditional 401k where the money comes out pre-tax, and then we have Roth 401k, which is post-tax. And depending on your thought process to the future is how you would invest. Me personally, I prefer Roth as to the pre-tax, because the way it was explained to me was, I don't know, this is almost verbatim. I don't know how you feel about taxes, but I know no matter what, they're not going to be less when you retire at 60. So at least you get most of your taxes out of the way now with a Roth 401k.
Why wouldn't they be less when you're 60?
Income tax is only going to increase from now until the time I'm 60, probably. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Oh, yeah. The other thing that I worry about is that, Social Security, when it first came out, you didn't have to contribute to it. Then you had to contribute to it. But the money would never be used for anything but.
You do not have to contribute to Social Security. It's not mandatory. I'm telling you, it's not. You don't have to get a Social... I'm sorry. You don't have to get a Social Security card.
Yeah, but
if you don't have a Social Security card, how do you contribute to Social Security? You don't.
It's illegal.
It's not illegal. I'm telling you. I know kids in college. I don't know how it's done. I know kids in college that went to Social Security Administration and canceled their Social Security. I don't know, but right now, I don't know if it was legal in 1995, 96.
So anyway.
I imagine it's still legal now.
So it was supposed to be that this money was for you, and you had to pay into it. And then in 20 years, 30 years, they changed it like, okay, we're going to give it to people that never paid into it.
I still pay into Social Security, even though when I get that stupid statement that comes to the house, I'm maxed out. If I'm maxed out, why am I still paying into it?
You're maxed out for the year.
No. When you get that paper that says that you've hit the max level, like if I never work again, I receive the max payout of Social Security.
What's the max payout now?
I don't know, whatever it is. It's like $2,400 or something.
Okay.
What, you mad because I actually know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't doubt you. I'm trying to bring up a point, but you keep cutting me off. So they constantly change the Social Security. I think with the Roth IRA, hey, you paid it. We're not going to tax you again. They want money. They'll find a way to tax that Roth. I'm not paying them shit until I got to pay them.
So you think traditional is better?
Yes.
Even though I personally know you hold Roth IRAs.
No, I do not hold any Roth IRAs. You're wrong.
I don't know
You're
about
wrong.
that. I
You're
remember
wrong.
when we talked about doing it with Uncle Tommy.
Yeah. And then I told your brother to do it, and I said Tommy was right, but I did not change.
All right. If you say so. So back to creating ways and reasons for your employees to stay with you. Finance is huge, right? Right?
Very.
Me and my father mess around in the stock market a lot. My father did something that I think is brilliant. I'll say it on the air.
Holy shit.
I know. When I was old enough to get an actual IRA account, I think we were 16, whatever the legal age was back then where you could get, he said, you give me $20 a week and I'm going to put $20 a week away and we're going to start this. It was Vanguard. The first one was Vanguard.
Yeah.
So I had to give him $20 a week, which honestly at 16 years old, I hated him. Much like everything else that he made us do to learn the value of money and how to make money and save money. And when you're young, you don't appreciate it. That account for me right now is fabulous, considering that this is the account we were talking about the other day where you were yelling at me that I got to go change things and we're going to put it on a calendar to change it. My point is, as an owner, don't lose sight of this stuff either. You still need to make time for your own finances. My Vanguard and Wasatch and the other stuff that we started when I was a kid or teenager, I haven't looked at or touched aside from putting my kids as the beneficiaries if I pass away. That's like the only stuff I've ever done. And my father, being that he has all this time off, pays attention to the stock market way more than I do and to funds. And he's been at me. It's probably been a year now, right?
Right.
To change it. So I got to change it. I'm talking about employees and making sure that they're good and that their finances are good. But as the owner, you really got to pay attention to your finances as well. Even if you just get the stupid app on your phone and follow everything. I mean, there's an app for everything. 2019, I'm going to pay more attention to finances personally, but you do need, go ahead, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, it brings up a good point in the pest control industry, especially for like these smaller companies. Everybody's out there making money, but they don't put their money to work for them. When they save some money, they don't invest it. They don't know what to do. I mean, you need to sit down and talk to somebody and see what you're going to put this money. You're working real hard, no doubt about that. And your money's laying somewhere and it's not working. You got to find a place to put that money and where it can make, even if it only makes 5%, that's 5%. That's 5% more than you had. And over a period of years, if you just let it lie, it's compounding interest that just keeps going boom, bada bing, bada boom. And one day you wake up and you go, wow, that's pretty good. And yes, stock markets go up and down. You got to be patient. They'll always come back.
Now that we have this huge listenership or subscription-based company, people actually listening to us, we might be able to start a hedge fund. Just in 2017, with your own personal investments that you invested, because we have this conversation every January.
Yeah.
So in 2017, what was your personal percentage rate earned on your money versus what you did with your stockbroker? I remember the numbers very well.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I know the stockbroker did 26%, didn't he?
That was last year, or that's in the new fund? That's the new fund. I remember when you went there and outperformed them, and they didn't have any clue what to say.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember.
All right.
But I know.
That's a terrible pitch for our hedge fund, so let's just cancel that.
Well,
Jesus,
listen.
Suffering. Jesus, Eddie.
You have money with a stockbroker, and it's a managed fund. And I know last year they did tremendous, and I think it was 26%. And then there's other money that I manage, and last year I didn't beat them. I had like 20%. But I have to tell you, I'm not a genius. I subscribe to a guy. I get a newsletter every month that I read. The reason I like this newsletter is because for 27 years, this guy has listed since 1991 when he started it, how much he increased stuff every year. And he put the years when he got wiped out, went down 30% in 2008. To my point, it was all made back in 2 or 3 years, and then it's been doing, we're up way up since then. Using tools.
Yeah, okay, that's what everyone does.
So, yeah, okay. So the message here is work hard, but the money you make, use some of it to entertain yourself, pay your bills. The leftovers, I would definitely put into a stock market or a stock fund.
What is a good way to get started investing, either in the stock market or whatnot?
What I would suggest is if you're new, I would go into a stock fund. The one that I like is Vanguard. And you can put as little as $3,000 there to get started. Unless you're lucky and you have a mom like I had, rest in peace, who refused to put no more than $2,000 into that fund. And I told her they won't open the fund for you if you don't put $3,000. She goes, well, I'm not giving them the money. So I said, well, then forget it. And then she turned around after she thought a while, and she goes, So you put 2,000 in and I put 2,000 in and winner take all. I said, what do you mean by that? Whoever lives the longest, like, done. So that was how I got my mom into it.
So listen, I think we're talking to lay people, and you're no longer a lay person when it comes to finances, but most people have no clue how to even get there to get their money into a stock market. There's a ton of apps. Should I do Primera Trade? I don't even remember the names because there's been so many mergers, but there is a very good app out there that a lot of people I know are using, and it's the Acorn app. I'm not that familiar with it because by the time it came out, I'm already entrenched with a stockbroker and this 401k that is managed by someone as well. But Acorn is something, and don't quote me on this, but look into it. Certainly, you can do all types of stuff, like when you use your debit card or your credit card, it rounds everything up and puts it into this Acorn account, and you go into your Acorn account and you pick the funds you want it to go in. Every credit or debit purchase you do, if it's $3.75, it puts 25 cents. If it's $2.21, you can pick, I think, if it rounds it up to the 50-cent or the dollar mark or whatever. Yeah. This is a good way to start your portfolio and grow from there.
The other way, you mentioned is TD America. You could go down to TD Bank, because every time I go in it, well, every time, 2 or 3 times I was there, they're like, oh, we want to talk to you about the stock market. Go to them and tell them you want to talk to them about the stock market. Maybe they have other funds we don't got to put $3,000 into. I don't know. But if you're going to invest money, make sure it's money that you don't need, because what's going to happen is, I see this with most, and it happened to myself. As soon as it goes down, like you want to pull it out. Oh my God, what did I do? Leave it alone. Don't look at it every day. Look at it if you want to look every 3 months.
I think that's a great way though to start investing. Invest with money you don't care about.
You have to.
Whatever it is, because, but people don't. You know what I mean? And so this is perfect when you come to work for Colony Pest Management. After 1 year of working with us, we'll match X amount of percentage of your salary. And that's kind of free money. And like I said,
we'll double your money.
We can absolutely double your money. And then you pick what you want to do with it, and the brokers go over everything. And this is stuff that I'm not well-versed in. You're well-versed in it, but we're not well-versed enough to tell
No, they got to
people.
go see. They got to go see a broker.
That's what I'm saying. But because we're not well-versed in the sense of explaining, you should go into these funds or you should go into that funds. I mean, when I have conversations with my friends that, we're relatively young, or 10 years ago when I was 30, whatever, 30. I'm sticking to that story. I was in more aggressive stuff, more aggressive funds where I could take a loss with my 401k, and now I have a better
grasp.
Well, not even a better grasp, but I have some of my money goes to more aggressive, some of my goes to middle of the way,
you got to play a little.
Some of my money goes to somewhere where it's the word guarantee never happens in stock market or when you're dealing with finances, but in more guaranteed funds, in the sense that they've performed or outperformed over the years at this rate, and it's almost a guarantee.
Have a good track record. There's no guarantee. I mean, if I go back over my records, some things I bought for $17 a share years ago are now $60 a share. But I bet if you look at those records from years ago, I'll bet it was down to $5 a share at some time. So, you just got to be patient. A rule of thumb, which I don't always follow, if a stock goes down 10%, sell it.
I don't really think we ever follow that.
I might have followed it once or twice. but at
the end of the year when you were looking to do a little bit of a wash, in a sense of take a loss.
Which is legal.
We're talking about guarantees and stuff like that. You always push the stocks this is like guaranteed money, dividend stocks.
Dividend stocks.
Right. And
so what is a dividend stock? A dividend stock is a stock that is a company, and you buy into it. You buy X amount of shares, and they give a dividend every month, every 3 months, twice a year, whatever it is. You read it before you buy it. So say you had
So basically a dividend is, if you invest, let's say a share is $1 and you buy 1,000 shares, you have 1,000 shares, and the dividend is 5%.
Right.
Then you're getting $50 annually from that company.
Exactly.
Well, listen, this is the thing that we don't realize. Is like me, before not everybody understands this stuff. So a dividend stock is when you invest your money in a stock that the stock could keep growing.
That's right.
So you put 1,000 in, maybe it turns to 2,000, but your
dividend's still 5%.
right, 5%. And then there's even some stocks where the dividend stays the same on your initial investment. And let's say, so again, you buy $1,000 worth, it goes down to 900. This doesn't happen that often, but we've had a couple of them where they continue to pay you on your original investment of $1,000.
Yes.
That's something that you want to also think about as an owner, is getting into dividend stocks, because the stock's going to fluctuate. Everybody knows stocks fluctuates. Apple currently has, Apple's probably one of the best stocks we ever bought. Apple currently has a dividend. I don't remember what it is.
1%.
Whatever it is, but they have a dividend. You mentioned a couple. Verizon has one. So you buy into these stocks at a price wherever they're at now. You kind of know they're going to continue to grow, but you're still getting your dividend, and you're paying taxes on that.
As a younger person, you don't want them to send you the check. You want it reinvested. That's the compound. So what they do with that money, they'll buy more shares in that company. So
Or you could pick another company.
Nothing out of your pocket. They just roll it over. And over 20 years, I know it's hard for some of you. 20 years from now, they go by pretty quick.
I started this company 15 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. Even though when I think back, I've lived what seems like a lifetime, but 15 years goes fast. And now my 401k is 2004. We're already 2005, let's say. So we're already 13 years into the 401k.
All right.
So
there you go. Don't buy all dividend-paying stocks. You got to have a little fun. I remember I bought McDonald's. I sold it too quick. But, these dividend stocks, you'd be surprised how much money you can accumulate if you just let them roll over. And then when you get to be old, like around 75, that's what I plan. And you can start telling them, okay, give me the dividend. I'll take the dividends now.
You're still not taking dividends?
That part was a lie.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it wasn't a lie. It was just bullshit.
Right. Ed Sheeran's biggest statement my entire life, which I don't really subscribe to, is live beneath your means, right? I get it. I understand it. The only time I ever live beneath my means is when I'm in war mode or acquisition mode. And then that's when I cut off all fun time stuff and money and get into and just make sure that I have a war chest or whatever you want to call it.
Go to the mattress.
To pay for everything. Yeah, go to the mattresses, whatever you want to say.
This is the business we have chosen.
Can't even say it with a straight face. No, but it's true. Like, I know how to do it. I've done it. When my second child was born, Avery, there was a whole plan on what we were going to do, and their mom was not going to work, and we were going to be 9 months, and I was really going to be the sole breadwinner in the house, and I was going to have to take on healthcare expenses and everything. I knew this 3 months into the pregnancy, and that was it. From 3 months into the pregnancy to the time their mom went back, we went to a different lifestyle.
Was that the time you were down on the Bowery Mission there?
I don't think I've ever been to Bowery Mission unless it was to look for bed bugs. It's a good thing to think about. Like, when bills get too high, live beneath your means is a very good thing to think about. You make $10,000, live at $8,000, because the best thing that's ever been explained to me. You heard that? Wow. The best thing that's ever been explained to me was you could make $100 million, but if you spend $101 million, you're broke. And that's a true statement. You're broke if you spend $101 million and you make 100.
As a man from Bari, Italy, once told me many, many years ago.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't matter how much you make. It matters how much you keep.
Yeah. So we could talk about finance all day because it's something that we love to talk about and love to think about and figure out how to make more money. I'm sure you'll hear another podcast about this. There's a lot of new ways and old ways to make your money make you money, and the idea is to just pay attention to it.
When are you going to come and go over your finances with me?
November.
November. Oh, okay.
So November, because listen, I'm doing a lot of traveling here. I'm trying to make the business grow. I'm trying to make myself. This is the conversation that I think a lot of owners tell each other. But I'm traveling a lot. I've already.
Me too. I've been traveling.
You're traveling for fun. I'm not traveling for fun. I'm traveling for money.
It's a job.
No. every piece of traveling that I've done since September and will do till the middle of January is only to better the business and make more money. And it's not a good excuse because we could FaceTime, even though I see enough of your face and I'm sure you see enough of my face. Yeah. I say November because I have about 3 weeks in November where I'm actually in New York, and it's probably the most time I've been in New York in 1 month. So I say November.
Okay. So
we're gonna sit down. We're not gonna around. We're not gonna joke around. We're gonna sit down, jump on.
Bring all the papers with you.
The papers. There's no papers, bro. I'm online with it.
Okay, fine. So we'll look.
So
at
get
it.
your glasses. Get your online glasses, and we'll go online.
And then I have, there's a correction in the market right now. How big it's gonna be, I don't know. But there's certain funds that would, if they lose them, they're gonna lose a lot less than other funds.
That's fine. I'm in.
Okay. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So once again, thank you for listening to Colony Confidential. People keep telling me, when are you going to go on YouTube? When are you going to have video? When are you going to do this? And I'm like, do you know who the my father is? He needs to be edited and deleted constantly. So nothing is going on TV. They're like, nah, but bro, somebody said to me, and you can't make this statement up, all the podcasts I listen to, I watch. And I was like, say that again? And he was like, yeah, all the podcasts I listen to, I watch on YouTube. I'm like, so you're watching a TV show, kind of. You're watching people talk on radio. He's like, yeah, all the podcasts. And he kept saying it. All the podcasts I listen to, I watch. I mean, yeah, this isn't sponsors. We'll, start sponsoring us. We'll get on TV. We'll get your stuff popping.
Yeah.
Until then, you just gotta listen to our voices, as wonderful as they are.
All right, this is Ed Sheehan. I want to thank you for listening to Colony Confidential.
I want to thank everybody that left their ratings on iTunes. We have about 53 ratings. We have a ton of comments. If I don't get to your comment and thank you, I thank everybody that's done it. This has been a wonderful process for us, but we have 5-star ratings. Must listen, Hand 12, fantastic collection of podcasts which are a must listen for you. Silmint 1, excellent, the best thing on my iPod, always compelling, always interesting. Mr. Johnson, Cowlie, this is the best podcast comparing to other podcasts in the market. Keep it up. Davis, OCSH2, really enjoy the podcast, lots of info, and think they are great. There's a ton of them here. I just want to thank everybody that's been hitting us on social media, telling us keep up the good work. We appreciate all your feedback. People have given us positive and negative feedback, and when I say negative, just negative, and some people have just been JOs about it. A lot of good things in store. Look for our shirts that say "We Bug New York" on the back, and that's right, we do bug New York. So thank you again for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and review.